Hey guys, and welcome back to another video on the Center Circle. Wow, it has been almost a year since I've uploaded, but yeah, I am back with another video. And in today's video, I've got Richard on the channel. Richard, how have you been, man?
No, I'm good, man. As you say, it's been a long time since I've been on the
Yeah,
channel, or since the channel been running. So I'm happy to be here, man.
cool, man. So guys, as you can see, from the title of this video, we're going to be predicting the Premier League. So we'll be going through our top six. We'll be seeing who do you think will get relegated and our over and underachievers. So yeah, so let's just get straight into it. So let's move on to our Premier League predictions. Rich, I'll let you go first. So who do you think is gonna finish top six come May?
So top six, I'm gonna go.
In
I
chronological
think
in chronological order,
so, like from sixth to first.
from first to sixth.
Okay, in first place,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a bit of jinxing in this, and there's a bit of hoping I'm wrong. I do feel the favourites going into the season should be Arsenal. I'm obviously gonna go with them first because one is they've got the hunger to go and win something they haven't won in 20 years, whereas Man City have done it four in a row. I think it's harder for a team to keep going again and again and again. And I think doing something that I don't think has been ever done in the Premier League, winning four in a row, I think it's hard to be able to sustain that level and keep that motivation to keep going as much as you think you want it. Obviously, you've got the Pep factor who barely lets the standard slips. But then even you can hear him talking sometimes. He talks about how he's more closer towards leaving than staying. When you've accomplished everything that Man City have, it is quite difficult to keep the same motivation to go again. And winning five in a row in the Premier League, again, even though four has never been done before, five is now really like pushing it. At some point, like they're gonna have to fall off the top. And I think the next team that's ready to overtake them would be Arsenal because I think Arsenal finished like 8 points behind Man City like 2 seasons ago, then 1 point behind last season. I think they don't strike me as a squad that are demoralized just yet, but as a team that they feel like they can get back to it and keep going. So they are the reason I've got them first. Should I keep going?
Yeah, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Second place obviously is Man City because I do think as much as I think it'll be harder for them to keep going time and time again, I do feel like the talent in the squad and the know-how would be enough to at least still keep them in the title race. In third place, I do feel like it should be Chelsea. I know we finished sixth last season, but I do feel like that squad was definitely more than capable of finishing top four. And plus, um, the teams around us, when you look at the Liverpool, Aston Villa, Newcastle, Tottenham, blah, 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 I don't really think player for player, those teams really have a much better squad than us. So I think Chelsea should be finishing third. I think fourth place should be Liverpool. I do feel Liverpool are going to decline this season. They haven't made any signings yet. It will be the first season in the post-Klopp era. But again, when you still have Van Dijk, Salah, Alisson, you can still make things happen. But I just don't see them being consistent. And there's a reason why they fell off towards the end of last season because I feel like out of all the top teams, their midfield is arguably the weakest. In fifth place, I'm going to go with Aston Villa. I think they could have done a better job than Newcastle in recruitment of when they have eventually made Champions League. But again, they're a small club that haven't been there before. Being able to manage Champions League football and Premier League is a tough thing. But then they've got Unai Emery, who's a European specialist, especially in the Europa League. So I do think they still got that going for them. So I think they'll be good enough to make Europa League, but not get top four. And in sixth place, I'm going with Tottenham to with Dominic Solanke signing for them. I think that's been a good signing for them. I think they'll put enough points in the. I do think they'll put enough points in the board in the first half of the season, and they'll tail off towards the latter stages. But I think what they'll do in the first half of the season will be enough to keep them in the top six. So that's my Arsenal, City, Chelsea, Liverpool, Villa, Tottenham.
Wow, I wasn't expecting that, you know. I wasn't expecting you to put Chelsea third. I thought you'd have Man United in there somewhere. After they've announced the Lit, Mazraoui, and Xerxes as well. Like Man United have got a decent squad. That's why I was more shocked if you put in not putting Man United in your top six and putting Chelsea third, to be honest. But But yeah, opinions, opinions. Fair enough. Obviously, I think Arsenal will win the league this year. We've come close like twice, 2 seasons in a row now. And it's about time that Arsenal do go on to win it now. We've not made as many signings. Obviously, we've signed Calafiori. Um,
Calamari.
and what are you calling him? Calamari. This guy. But yeah, I do think this is Arsenal's year to go and do it. It's been how long since Arsenal like won the league. So
Yes.
I think Arsenal will do it. City
Yeah.
will come second. Um, I think Liverpool do come third, despite the fact that it's post Klopp era. I think Arne Slot has got something to prove. I mean, he's in Champions League. He's got the players to do it. So why can't he come third? Um, Fourth, I'm going to go for Man United, just because of the signings, and I think Ten Hag is under pressure to perform. I think if Ten Hag doesn't perform, he could be gone by he could be gone by Christmas. Um, because obviously he's been under pressure for a little while now, so he needs to perform. Fifth, I'm going to go Tottenham. But you know what? Before signing Solanke, I was thinking they might come sixth, seventh, but now they've made that. They've got Solanke now. They've got that striker. I think they might get fifth. And sixth, I am gonna go for. It's between Villa and Chelsea, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Chelsea sixth, only because Villa are in Champions League and they might want to. I don't want to say Villa want to focus on Champions League, but because it's the first time that Villa have been in like a top competition for how many years, um, I think towards the end of the season, their players might get fatigued and stuff. So yeah, I think Chelsea will get sick.
I
Um,
don't believe in Man United whatsoever. I do think they'll
what's
finish.
that?
I don't believe in United whatsoever. I think they are quite shocking in attack. I think when your best players are still Bruno and Rashford going into a new
Mm,
season, I do
yeah,
think it's just a recipe for insanity because, like, when they say doing the same thing and hope for different results, I think
mm,
Rashford, I would say, I would like his performances if he was still 23. He's like, what, 26, 27 now? I
yeah,
feel
around
like
yeah.
he's playing the same way that he used to play before. I think obviously Casemiro, I think obviously he still has a bit left in him, but the
Mm,
Casemiro and Bruno midfield pairing, I'm not fully convinced in it.
mm.
Um, obviously they've sent a new right back in. What's his name again? Um,
Oh, for Man United,
yeah.
Mazraoui.
Harry, I've seen him a couple of times in Bayern. He's decent, but
Mm,
again, it's not transcendent. I think obviously Dalot is still challenging for the spot. Luke Shaw is always injured.
mm.
Onana is a clown in goal. I think Garnacho, I think he has an element of unknown, whereas you don't know if he's going to be a superstar. But I think
Mm.
when you're still going to persist with Rashford, Holland, I don't really think is good. I don't know much about the new striker they sent from Bayern, but he's a striker coming in saying that he's not a 9, he's not a 10, he's a
He's a
9.5.
9.5. Yeah, yeah.
I don't
Yeah, I've seen that.
I'm not really sure what that means, but
Yeah, I don't know what that means either.
unless he wants to say he's a force like number 9, which
For
is
yeah,
like nine, like let's not start
yeah,
making up.
9.5. He's confusing the whole world with that.
I think like the makeup of the squad, even though they can have good players, I don't think the makeup of the squad complements each other. Because
Mm,
again, if I was just to go back to someone like Rashford, I feel like Rashford needs a striker that will hold up the ball, play like I think one of the reasons, even though a lot of people slandered him, I think Vegas being a presence because of when Vegas had the role of start coming to drop deep, Rashford had a chance to then invert and make darting runs in the center. Him and Holland are
mm.
going to be making runs because those are two type of players that love to run in behind. So it's never to say like the make the squad can't compete with the other squads, even though I don't think it can. But I think my biggest
Mm.
issue is their squad don't complement each other. And I think, and with that, on then you got a manager who is The only grace I'll give Ten Hag is I don't think another manager can come in and take this United squad to the top. Saying that, I've seen enough from Ten Hag to know that even if you gave him the right squad, he still couldn't take United to the top. So I just don't believe in the United squad whatsoever. And I think even Newcastle finish above them. I think you have to look at another eighth place finish in my eyes.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, Man United eighth. That's interesting. Very
So
interesting.
I'm not believing them whatsoever.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So yeah, let's move on to who you think is going to get relegated. I've been thinking about this all day, and I still don't know. What who have you got down?
Hold on, I'm just gonna go check, just make sure I have a recap of all the teams in the Premier League again.
Mm.
Uh,
So obviously you got like the three promote. You got the three promoted teams in Leicester, Southampton, and Ipswich. Um,
to go down. I don't know a lot about them. I'll be real because I don't watch Championship, but I do think they would go down.
who's that?
Um, Ipswich,
Ipswich. Okay.
I think Nottingham Forest could
Okay.
possibly go down
Okay.
again.
Interesting.
And by the way, this is me blind guessing from what I think
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And Bournemouth could go down.
Okay.
I'll say that's my three.
Okay.
I,
You know what?
Leicester, I don't think Leicester should have gone down in the first place. So, and obviously, they're just 1 year removed from being in the Premier League. So they
Mm,
still got the players and they still know that they still have the know-how. And I think quite the same with Southampton. I don't know the investments Ipswich have made, but I haven't heard much about them. And obviously, a
mm.
relegated team that comes up will always go back down at least once. So I think they are my one. Um, Bournemouth
So,
losing the goal. Oh, sorry, you go.
yeah. You know what? I was thinking opposite. I actually think Ipswich could stay up. Um, Only reason I was thinking Ipswich could stay up is because there's like because I was thinking could Ipswich do what Luton almost could do, which is like like flirt around 18th, 17th, and then stay up on like the last day. I'm thinking Ipswich could do that because like I can agree with you with Bournemouth actually because obviously getting rid of Solanke
Honestly.
is yeah and like but the thing is Iraola is a good manager and I don't know if Bournemouth is such a good team for them to go down anyway. Um, so yeah, I do. So I think Ipswich will stay up. So I think my three teams to get relegated. I think Southampton will get relegated. I think Bournemouth will get. I think Bournemouth could get relegated, and maybe Leicester as well. Uh, I might. Yeah. So I think two of the promoted teams from the Championship could get relegated, and I think Ipswich
Leicester
could
should come get the
survive.
manager back.
Hmm?
So Leicester should come and get the manager back.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, who does Leicester have now? What? Steve Cooper.
I
So
believe so.
So yeah, it just depends. But the thing is, at this point, it's hard to say who's gonna go down because most teams in the Prem have done business, especially around that relegation zone. I know Ipswich have done business, Southampton have done a bit of business, and so Leicester done a bit of business as well.
Yeah.
So yeah. So who do you think is going to? What should go first? Overachieve. Who do you think is going to overachieve this year?
Hmm.
I've I've
Overachieve.
I've got a couple of teams and I've got one team in mind, and I'm gonna say Crystal Palace. The reason why I say Crystal Palace is because when Glasner came in, um, he got Palace playing football basically, and Mateta started turning into like I don't know prime Henri. So I think Crystal Palace have got something to say, even though they sold Elise to Bayern, they still got decent play. They still got decent players in there. And I think with Glasner's experience being at Leverkusen, that could help Crystal Palace as well. They could easily flirt around the between like seventh and ninth position because Crystal Palace is always that team that come they're never in like the relegation battle, but they're not gonna like I don't know try
Yeah.
and get into Europe. So they could make a case for Europe this year. And so is the case for West Ham as well, because West Ham have done some good business as well in this transfer window. I
I
don't know
think
what
I'm
you think.
agree. I was thinking West, but then again, I feel like because of the way I've got my top eight set, the teams that will finish like a Crystal Palace or West Ham, I expect them to be there. So I don't know if I can really call them overachievers if I'm expecting them to be there already. I think it's going to be hard. I think like Fulham staying away from relegation battle might be classed as overachieving. I don't.
I don't know. See,
Yeah,
that's the thing.
this year is hard. What
Yeah,
biggest
because
overachieving?
I do think I think Crystal Palace will do something decent this year because
You
they're
know what?
always like
Let me go with Arsenal. Let me say Arsenal biggest overachievers because winning the league for the first time in like 21 years would be something. So let me go with them as the biggest overachievers.
wow, Arsenal overachievers. Okay, fine. Who do you think is gonna underachieve? This might be
United.
difficult. Man United, yeah, yeah, makes sense. I mean, based on what your top six was, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, not like that. It's
um,
like
okay. I'm trying to think. Um, trying to think. No one's really mentioned Newcastle actually, or Brighton. Like, no one's really. Both of us haven't even said like Newcastle or Brighton for like top six or top seven. So
I
could
thought
they
I
be?
thought Newcastle finished seventh.
You think Newcastle finish seventh?
Yeah. But again, I
Yeah.
don't think I'm achieving for them. Or
Okay. Yeah, I think Newcastle. You know, I think Brighton are going to drop off this year. I think they will because they've got a new manager. Um, they've sold a couple of like their big players and stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna say Brighton because I know last year they were in like around in the Europa League places and stuff, and when they was in Europa League, sorry. So I don't know if they can keep that up despite the fact they're not in Europe this year. I just think there's just better teams than Brighton.
they say
Um, so yeah, quick question: who do you think is going to be the signing of the season? So if you look at all the transfers that have been made in the Premier League, who do you think is going to be the signing of the season?
starting of the season.
Mm,
Uh that's a tough so let me just quickly try and run through all the top six in my
mm.
pick. I mean, it's not one Bissaka, that's for sure.
Yeah, it can't.
Um,
Yeah, it's not going to be one for Saka. No way. 15 mil.
yeah, I mean, again, also with send attackers, and I don't think Conor Murray will be
Mm,
Jack sending.
mm.
Um, Chelsea, we've done for
You think
starters.
how about Solanke maybe for Spurs?
The thing, I don't think he's gonna score 18 goals again like he did last season. I think I'm looking at like
With the
12 because the thing is this I think one of the reasons why I feel like striker quality in recent times has dropped off is because strikers don't consistently score many goals anymore. Like so, a striker could have one good season, and the next season they just seem to tail off. Whereas before, strikers would give you 20 goals season in, season out. Like we was recently saw with Osimhen as well, where he scored like 26 league goals to win up the league, and then next season he doesn't come anywhere close. I think
mm,
even though he's gone to a better team per se, I do feel as a striker in his position, he now has to find a way to do more with less because he won't have as many touches, he won't be the main focal point as he was before.
mm.
So, and again, I don't think he's gonna take Tottenham to heights that I didn't expect them to be in. I said I think they would probably finish sixth anyways, which is he will give them something different attack and he will score some goals, but I felt like fifth to seventh was their area anyways. So I don't know if he changes much. I don't know. The Pedro Neto one is quite interesting because in terms of profile, in terms of the name, he's not the biggest name in the Premier League, but I think if Enzo Maresca plays him well, I think he would play him. I think
mm,
he would give us something a lot different in attack to what Mudryk or Madueke was
mm.
give that could take us to another level. Um, the United ones, Zach Zachary, I would say his name.
Exactly.
Lexi, Mr. 9.5. I don't think he'll be a starter anyways when Poland is back. So
Mm. Yeah, I'm gonna say Solanke. I think he can get a lot of goals at Spurs. It just depends on how many and if the creativity will be there for him and stuff. And if
no,
he
it's
can
not
he can bang them. I do think Solanke.
this season. There hasn't been a lot of transcendent signings like they had been in the past.
Mm,
Like so, maybe I'll give it to Solanke or Neto instead.
or
I mean,
Neto.
I don't know who a lot of the bottom half teams have signed. If I'm going to be honest, so it
Mm,
could end up being an unknown that what Ipswich player bags like 18 Premier League goals,
mm,
or can we have another Palmer out of nowhere type of sign like with Savinho, who used to be called Savinho
mm,
before before he changed his name. So it'll be
mm,
quite interesting. But I'm going to agree with you. I just go to Sri Lanka because I just
mm.
can't think of anyone else.
Cool. Okay, cool. That's interesting. All right, guys. Well, that is our Premier League predictions for the 2024-2025 season. Let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. And that is the end of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Richard, thanks for jumping back on, bro. It has been a while. I'm gonna try and get out some content this year. As I've been slacking, I've been slacking. So, but yeah, good to have you back, bro. Good to have you back.
No worries. I appreciate
Yeah,
you
yeah, man.
you're
So yeah,
doing.
guys, like and subscribe, and yeah, we'll catch you guys soon in the next video.